A man is secretly tracking you, every move, every word, and he's about to use it against you. Archangel Michael says, there's something stirring in the spiritual realm. A ripple has reached the heavens, and Archangel Michael has been dispatched with urgency. Not because of what you've done, but because of what someone else is doing to you in secret. Heaven has seen what your eyes have not yet witnessed. A man, cloaked in false intentions, has been watching you. Tracking you. Not in love. Not in admiration. But with the intention to control, manipulate, and possibly harm. You may have sensed something off, a chill in the air when you're alone, an inner voice warning you not to share too much, a sudden wave of anxiety when you speak your truth. That was no ordinary intuition. That was a divine whisper. A signal from your guardian forces that you are under spiritual surveillance. And now, Archangel Michael steps in, not with fear, but with fire. Type Amen to get the blessings 4904. Archangel Michael says, this man is not acting randomly. There is strategy in his silence, calculation in his smiles, and shadows behind his words. He has made you the center of a quiet campaign. Every move you make, every post you share, every piece of yourself you reveal, he is collecting, analyzing, and storing it away for a time when he believes you'll be too distracted to see the blow coming. He is counting on your softness. He is banking on your delay. But heaven does not sleep. And heaven has seen enough. Michael comes with his sword drawn, not to alarm you, but to activate you. This message is your spiritual alert. A divine dispatch that can no longer wait. The man tracking you may believe he has time. He may believe that his methods are clever, undetectable, and shielded by charm or technology. But what he has failed to understand is that your life is watched over by divine forces that see all and miss nothing. Now is not the time to dismiss the little red flags. Now is not the moment to downplay your intuition. You are being called into spiritual awareness because your safety, your peace, and your divine destiny are too important to leave exposed. Archangel Michael is raising the alarm, and he is standing between you and this man's intentions right now. Type Amen to get the blessings 3988. But there's more. This is only the beginning. You are not alone. You are not vulnerable. You are not without defense. Heaven has stepped into your timeline with precision. Divine intelligence is guiding this intervention. Archangel Michael says, to, but not to control, not to condemn. He watches to guard, to illuminate, and to lead you into clarity. The tracking ends the moment you choose to see what heaven already knows. The man believes he is invisible. But now, by divine authority, he has been revealed. Are you ready to see clearly? Archangel Michael says, and his voice is sharper now, not in anger, but in divine urgency. He says, Beloved one, nothing you have said has gone unheard, but not just by heaven. Type Amen to get the blessings 990. The man who is tracking you isn't just lingering in the shadows. He's collecting data, feeding on every detail you drop, every word you release into the atmosphere, every emotional opening you unknowingly reveal. This isn't guesswork. It's not coincidental. It's intentional. He listens with the ears of manipulation, not compassion. He observes with the eyes of control, not care. You may have thought your private moments were your own, but there's an unseen presence hovering, calculating, and storing pieces of your identity for a future twist. Every conversation he watches, every choice he monitors, is being added to an invisible file that he believes he'll use when you least expect it. He's building a case. Not in a court of law, but in a court of perception. A place where he intends to become the judge of your worth, the editor of your story, and the wielder of your truth. But heaven says, not so fast. You need to understand the magnitude of this moment. There is no room for passivity. No time to pretend this is paranoia or drama. This is a spiritual invasion. And what's more dangerous than someone attacking you, is someone studying you to build the perfect ambush. That's exactly what this man is attempting. Type Amen to get the blessings 999. Archangel Michael says, the spiritual surveillance is not casual. It may include watching your online presence obsessively, tracking your location through subtle digital means, listening into mutual conversations, even influencing others around you to bring back information. There is a net, and it is tightening. But here's what this man didn't plan for: you are surrounded by divine surveillance, too. Heavenly forces have recorded every act of injustice, every intrusion into your sacred space, every secret thought this man has hoped to conceal. And now, the scales are tipping. Archangel Michael says, speak no more into the air without spiritual covering. Move with awareness. Limit access. And most of all, don't let guilt or confusion cause you to explain yourself to the wrong people. Silence is now your weapon. Discernment is your shield. And Archangel Michael is forming a divine perimeter around your life even as you read these words. The man thinks he knows everything about you. But what he cannot know, what he could never track, is the power rising inside of you now. Type Amen to get the blessings 491. It is time to take your power back from the unseen eyes watching. Archangel Michael is canceling the permission you never gave. The heavens are preparing to strike down the illusion this man is building. Stay vigilant. In Section 3, Michael will expose the chilling truth of what this man intends to do with the pieces of your life he's been stealing. And you'll understand why the time to act is now. Archangel Michael says, now lifts the veil and reveals what lies behind the watchful eyes of the man tracking you. His goal is not merely observation, it is orchestration. He is crafting a false reality, a twisted script, and the material he is using is you. Type Amen to get the blessings 498. Yes, he's been watching your words. But more than that, he's been collecting your vulnerability. He's noticed when you're joyful, when you're heartbroken, when you feel lost, when you speak in anger. He is not just watching your patterns, he is strategizing how to distort them. To make you appear unstable, dishonest, unpredictable, or unsafe. This is not a game. This is a spiritual assault on your identity. He plans to build a weapon, not of metal or stone, but of narrative. He wants to take pieces of truth and lace them with lies until you are trapped in a story you didn't write. He may aim to sabotage your relationships, destroy your reputation, or ruin your opportunities. And he believes that because he's been quiet, you won't see it coming. But heaven is intervening now because this plot has reached its boiling point. Archangel Michael says, stands with his sword of truth ignited. He declares, no life formed against you shall prosper. No shadow spun in secrecy shall overpower the light of your divine truth. The time to expose this spiritual blackmail is now. Type Amen to get the blessings 900. You must understand that this man's manipulation is rooted in fear, his own. He fears your power, your independence, your ability to rise above the old versions of yourself. He knows that if you truly embrace your divine calling, his influence will be shattered. That's why he's desperate to control the narrative before you can reclaim it. you are not powerless in this. In fact, your awareness is the beginning of your dominion. Now that heaven has revealed his intent, you must stand in your truth with spiritual armor. You must stop feeding the false narrative with unnecessary explanations, second-guessing, or people-pleasing. His trap is built on your silence, and on your doubt. But you are not who he says you are. Archangel Michael commands you to speak truth into the spiritual atmosphere. To declare with authority that your story is sacred. That no man, no force, no manipulator can claim ownership of your identity. The only author of your destiny is the divine, and the plot unfolding now is one of restoration, justice, and unshakable power. Type Amen to get the blessings. 3990. Take this moment to breathe deeply. Center yourself in truth. And prepare to sever the energetic cords this man has been weaving. Because in the next section, Michael will unsheath his divine sword, and the spiritual battle for your truth will ignite. The story he's crafting is a lie. But the power you're about to step into is the truth that will break his scheme wide open. The time for observation has passed. The time for silence has ended. Archangel Michael now steps forward in radiant power, sword drawn, eyes aflame with holy fire. His voice thunders through the spiritual realm, enough. Archangel Michael he says to you, beloved, I have watched long enough. The deception has gone far enough. I am unsheathing my sword of truth, for you. This is no metaphor. The sword of truth is a divine weapon, forged in the highest realms, capable of cutting through the densest illusions, lies, and dark manipulations. And now, it is being wielded on your behalf. Type Amen to get the blessings. 383. Michael does not act unless the situation is serious. But this is urgent. You are standing on sacred ground right now, because the battle that is being waged over your life, your reputation, your emotional safety, is not just personal. It is spiritual. And heaven will not allow this violation to continue unchecked. The man who watches you, who plots in silence, who believes he can weaponize your truth against you, is being spiritually confronted. The sword of truth is descending into his plans, and they will not stand. Michael reveals that the lies being constructed around you are about to collapse under the weight of divine revelation. Hidden communications will be exposed. Whispers behind your back will come to light. The energy he's been sending your way, that heaviness, that confusion, that doubt, is being cut off. But you have a role to play too. Archangel Michael you must now stand tall in truth, even when the air feels thick with fear. You must refuse to shrink, hide, or over-explain. Michael you owe no man an apology for shining in your divine identity. Your clarity, your confidence, your refusal to bow to manipulation, these are the spiritual shields you must now raise. Type Amen to get the blessings. 2877. Let these words burn into your heart. No one controls your story but God. You may feel the urge to fight back, to prove your innocence, to explain yourself to those who've heard the lies. But Michael cautions you, this is not a battle of the flesh. It is a battle of energy, of authority, of presence. You will not win by shouting over him. You will win by standing still in your divine power while the sword of truth clears the battlefield around you. Already, forces are moving. Divine justice is being set in motion. Michael is calling in reinforcements, angels of protection, truth, and exposure, to surround you. And not one word, not one distorted tale, will go unchallenged in the courts of heaven. You are being called into alignment with a higher truth, a truth that cannot be edited, distorted, or sold. And that truth is this: you are untouchable when heaven fights for you. Type Amen to get the blessings 5009. Dear child, what's happening to you is not merely emotional manipulation or psychological warfare, it is spiritual surveillance. This man is using tools, some physical, some energetic, to infiltrate your world. Archangel Michael now reveals this so you are no longer unaware. Heaven has seen the attempt to observe you from multiple dimensions: digital, relational, and even astral. You must know, this is no longer about curiosity. It is control disguised as interest. It is spiritual invasion masked as concern. And heaven is intervening because your soul was never meant to be monitored like prey. Michael shows that this man is using more than eyes and ears. He is using influence, manipulation, and potentially even low-level psychic tactics to tap into your energetic field. This may include watching your online behavior obsessively, reading between the lines of your words and gestures. None of this is a coincidence. And while it may sound surreal, this is very real in the spiritual world. Type Amen to get the blessings 390. Archangel Michael steps in to shut down the signal. He says, I am wrapping you in a shield of divine light, impenetrable, untraceable, untouchable. This shield blocks both technological and energetic tracking. Where the man once felt he could sense your direction, your mood, your next move, he will now meet silence. Divine fog. Static. Michael is severing the lines of access. The spiritual monitoring stops now. But he also gives you instruction: be wise with your voice, your space, your energy. Lock your gates in both the physical and spiritual. Revoke access with intention, not just from devices or passwords, but from people who carry your presence back to him. Watch your dreams. Speak protection before you sleep. Let no conversation pass without discernment. You have been open-hearted, and heaven honors your trust. But now, heaven commands your discernment. The shield of divine light being placed around you is not fragile. It is forged in celestial fire. It reflects every psychic arrow, every deceptive whisper, every technological tracking attempt. And yet, it does more: it mirrors back the energy being sent, so the one who watches begins to feel the discomfort of his own gaze. Type Amen to get the blessings 1209. Archangel Michael says, he will feel the disruption. He will feel the severing. He will know that his access has been denied from the highest authority. You are now hidden, not in fear, but in divine strategy. You are being repositioned in a way that protects your mission, your voice, your soul's blueprint. There is nothing to fear. But there is everything to be aware of. This section marks a spiritual lockdown. The heavenly firewall is activated. Your energy is no longer his playground. Archangel Michael now reveals a deeper, more dangerous layer of this attack, one most would never see unless guided by divine sight. This man has done more than just observe and plan. He has tried to make a spiritual contract over your life. Let that sink in. Type Amen to get the blessings 559. This isn't paperwork or legal documents in the earthly realm. This is something more sinister, a soul-level agreement he attempted to enforce without your consent. A declaration in the spiritual world that he has rights over your energy, your destiny, your voice. He has, in his mind and intent, tried to stake a claim on who you are and who you're allowed to become. But he has no divine authority to do so. He never did. Michael shows you that this contract may have been sealed with obsession, words spoken in anger or jealousy, false promises made in the shadows, or manipulative spiritual practices. It may have involved rituals, curses disguised as concern, or simply a deep-rooted intention to own you, emotionally, energetically, relationally. This is why you've felt entangled. Why progress has been confusing. Why certain people suddenly shift in their perception of you. Because someone has attempted to rewrite your narrative in a realm most can't see. Archangel Michael says, "But now, heaven exposes it." Michael raises his sword once more, not in warning, but in judgment. He declares, "This false contract is now void. It is broken by divine order. No unauthorized soul may bind what the divine has set free." Type Amen to get the blessings 585. You are not the property of another person's pain. You are not the extension of another's ego. You do not belong to the one who watches you with possessiveness while pretending it's love. This man may have convinced himself that he was protecting you, watching over you, even helping you. But heaven sees the root clearly: control, domination, fear. Michael burns the false contract in the courts of heaven. And as the ashes fall, he says, "Now, the only contract that remains is the one between you and your Creator, one of freedom, destiny, purpose, and divine truth. But now that the contract is broken, you must take authority in the physical and spiritual realms. Anoint your space. Cleanse your energy. Cut cords with intention and clarity. Reconnect to your divine assignment. The path you were on before interference, that's your true direction." Type Amen to get the blessings 904. The moment you reclaim your authority, the man who tried to spiritually bind you will feel it. He may lash out. He may double down. But understand this: he is losing control because heaven is taking back what is rightfully yours. Now that the false contract is broken, Archangel Michael turns your attention to what lies ahead, not the destruction that man intended, but the divine reversal God has already set in motion. Heaven is not only silencing the lies, it is using them to reveal the truth in a way that cannot be ignored. Every word meant to bury you is about to backfire. Every whisper meant to isolate you will now act as a loudspeaker pointing directly at the deceiver himself. Michael says, "God does not merely restore, he overturns. He uses the weapon formed against you to forge your crown." The accusations, distortions, and spiritual surveillance meant to humiliate or discredit you are now collapsing under the weight of truth. And as they fall, people who were once deceived will begin to see you through a new lens, the lens of divine justice. Type Amen to get the blessings 290. Some will say, "I misjudged you." Others will feel a conviction in their spirit, a knowing that they were led by deception. The very ones who heard lies about you will become messengers of your vindication, without even realizing it. But this is not about revenge. This is about reversal with purpose. The energy meant to disempower you is now transforming into elevation. That man tried to steal your voice, now it will carry farther. He tried to cloud your name, now it will shine with divine clarity. He tried to block your path, now the road ahead is being made smoother, straighter, and anointed. Archangel Michael says, "You are stepping into a season where truth becomes your platform. Let it lift you, not your ego, but your purpose. You must now allow the exposure to unfold. Do not force it. Do not chase it. Do not seek to explain yourself to those who are unwilling to listen. Instead, let your energy speak. Let your alignment speak. Let the light that surrounds you testify on your behalf." There will be moments when the man's tactics intensify, especially when he realizes his grip is gone. Do not fear this. He is reacting to his loss of access. Stand firm in faith. The storm is proof that your freedom is manifesting in real time. Type Amen to get the blessings 485. Heaven is not just clearing your name, it is preparing to amplify it in arenas you never expected. Doors are being unlocked. Platforms are being positioned. Even your spiritual gifts, long muted by interference, are being reactivated. Archangel Michael says, your vindication is not only a sign to you, it's a sign to those watching silently. They, too, will learn that heaven defends its chosen. Beloved, this is your moment. You've walked through the shadows. You've been tracked, studied, lied about, and spiritually violated. You've been pushed into silence, made to question your instincts, and pulled into a battle you never asked for. But now, heaven has declared your release. And Archangel Michael says with power. Type Amen to get the blessings 383. Rise now. You are no longer hunted. You are crowned. The traps have been dismantled. The false contracts have been voided. The man who watched you from behind spiritual veils now stands exposed, disarmed, and denied access. And now, with divine clarity and urgency, Michael gives you this command. Step forward. Speak. Shine. Move. You are no longer under surveillance, you are under divine protection. Every corner that once felt unsafe is now surrounded by angelic sentries. Every shadow you feared is now lit by the holy fire of truth. Your voice, once stifled by fear of retaliation, is now your weapon of light. And it must be heard. Type Amen to get the blessings 483. Archangel Michael says, your silence served a purpose in the dark, but now, your voice will break the hold the enemy had over others too. This isn't just about your personal freedom. It's about your divine assignment. There are others watching, silently wondering if they're next. Wondering if they can escape their own spiritual stalkers, manipulators, or oppressors. Your courage becomes their blueprint. Your testimony becomes their light. You are being sent ahead as a forerunner of freedom. But Michael cautions you, this is not the time to look back. Don't revisit the old lies. Don't re-engage the man who wanted power over your path. Do not feed energy into what's been burned down by heaven. Your mission is forward. Type Amen to get the blessings 9834. So what do you do now? Begin rebuilding the parts of your life that were frozen in fear. Speak over them, this belongs to me, by divine right. Let your story be known, but not in bitterness, in power. Speak not to wound, but to wake others up. Every step you take now is holy ground. The detours you once hated are aligning into destiny, pray boldly. Declare loudly. Live fully, heaven is backing you. The divine court has ruled in your favor. Archangel Michael says, stay armored. Stay aware. Stay aligned. This world is filled with watchers, but none are stronger than the God who watches over you. Archangel Michael stands at your side still, his sword glowing, his wings spread wide. He will not depart. His watch is unbroken. Type Amen to get the blessings 983. And he speaks these final words to your spirit. No man, no lie, no shadow has authority over a soul sealed by heaven. You are sealed. You are free. You are chosen. Now rise, and let the earth hear your voice. Type Amen to get the blessings 855. If you believe in Almighty and want to get their blessings, so type Amen and make sure to hit the subscribe button and like our video.